tree. We should have a good one in store. That's the main thing. I honestly like the draft from Cloud. I really like this draft. I think that Timber is going to be a difficult hero for outside from China to deal with. And I just want to go back to the first game we casted them as well, where against VG, we were both really big fans of that draft. Now keep in mind, it's VG Gaming. That is just a team that's a tier above, and I have a feeling outsiders from China could be, like Lizard just said, which I believe this is just a better team. But I really like this draft from Rating. Are you kind of on the same board?
I wouldn't say really like. I mean, I think there still are issues for them to have to deal with. Like, Tree Protector is still very strong at being able to set up onto an heroes. Say that there's any like amazing heroes to get into, I wouldn't say. They've got ways to get away. I do like the fact that they've switched the Stormbreaker to being a 5. You and I were talking together, considering it being maybe a 1 with a Disrupted 5. That would work really well. And also get not and they could talk with. So I think it's very doable. But yeah, I feel like outsiders are going to outplay them.
Yeah, that's the big concern, is that you can't get to this. Your heroes are going to be at your complete strength here for Cloud. Now, just on the point about the Morphling, like, who does he play with? I feel like pretty happy with getting Scepter and replicating into the Weaver. Like, this is a hero who, yeah, you got Gem Knight attack, but still, like, you lack last here. Sorry, you lack attack speed. Like, having that reduced is a little bit annoying, and for Morphling to have those abilities would be great as well. I mean, you can even just use it onto the Primal Beach, which is great. We saw what a Morphling can do with this hero at the TI qualifiers, so that's going to be a really nice hero to morph into as well as the game goes on.
If you can catch it, that's always the biggest issue. And, like, can you catch either of these? Got a very mobile lineup in Stariff, yep. Getting boxed in a little bit here. He's not wanting to use another one of those tankers and to be able to get away. Nice adaptation there from Andy. I'm just going to call him Andy. You know, the player wants to be called that. The player there. It's easy and nice limit.
So very much as I did stumble up once last game. I like what with Andy. Down forward. He might be in some trouble. Level 2s. I think without the stun, he should be fine.
Coming from the Timber Sword, shouldn't be all that frustrated. I mean, this is an incredibly good lane. And while we're talking about the Timber Sword, let's just have a look over up at the top side where you've got a Tusk paired together with it. And this is prime to be able to move to another lane and try and get it. I almost feel like it's mid, right? Because Primal Beast is almost always going to be able to get away if Tusk is in right on top of him. He just pops the trample, and then, you know, you might get faced down slowly, but certainly doesn't have that same level of kill threat as something like, you know, a Dawnbreaker paired together with provide a little bit of control for a morph. It's going to be able to pop up even the early-ish stages of the game. So I'm always a big fan whenever they've got a style of heroes that just gets the initial stun for a morphling to follow up on.
That Primal Beast being mentioned too at the early point, do we feel like Team Cloud need to put a lot more attention in regards towards the river to kind of protect them against Echo's rotations?
You're talking about like what we saw at tops and like 3-minute rotations to lane, that sort of thing?
Yeah, and even even like 5 minutes, and maybe like can use forwards that you could look to use to protect the side lanes.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it should be fairly obvious. You always have to like predict the behavior that's coming through. Primal Beast is trampling the creep wave. You know what's going on, right? He doesn't have any other ways to go. Especially into a death prop. If you're just standing there and right-clicking, you're going to get siphoned. You're going to get right-clicked. So if you see him spamming that sort of thing, you know he's going for some sort of rotation, and you can respond accordingly. I think for this game in particular, not quite as neat.
That's if he does even lead the lane as well when ButterflyEffect has the EchozZ, then you've got big issues with the threat of your tower going down and We were mentioning was XM in the previous game, having he's very comfortable. And this game is no different in particular for Cloud and the position 2. ButterflyEffect back on IG Vitality, a formidable death profit player, something that they always use to great success. They loved rotating supports around kind of that 5-minute mark, so you can use that first minute in connection with the catapult as well. So we'll see if this is going to be any different. They do have some pretty good support to rotate. Tusk in particular. Maybe the Dawn won't be as beneficial to rotate, although the Morphling down bottom should really be fine. This doesn't seem like it's going to be a difficult lane for Andy to play into a Morana and an H's profit.
Yeah, he basically just needs to make sure that he holds onto his waveform, right? And then he's going to out of any sort of trouble if Stariff is going to make that sort of rotation. And again, I think it's just going to be on the back of anticipating what the enemy team wants to do. I think if Cloud are going to have any luck of taking out this Prime Beast and potentially transitioning it into a tower, off the back of a Tusk or Dawnbreaker or both, rotating into the lane, you got to like put yourself up there a little bit too far on ButterflyEffect. Get him to use the trample, get him to use the and get the turnaround happening. They're able to do. Thinking like Korean here, probably not going to have the easiest time, but I mean, you leave Weaver alone with the Timber Saw, it's not going to be that bad to have to, like, I know eventually Weaver gets kind of run over and the lane taken over, but that's just what it does against 95% of matchups. So I think XM is going to have just a fine. And on that, it's done, but it's not enough to be able to do too much. Abe is just going to back to base, come back, teleport, and go right back to farming.
God's work for the cause. That farm up.
Decent time in this mid lane. Was all over the water runes. Damn, just run out and FPP. Blackbeard up as long as possible. Wait for getting yourself on land. Dives by Echo, but to maybe expand this cycle from now, make sure that he has to perhaps prioritize that just punches in.
Well, our top look pretty good so far. Nothing too crazy. Timber is getting that's actually a decent chunk on tower, but CSJ now is able to find that level 3. So 2 points in the reactive armor, Timber should be able to out-sustain some of the Weaver's damage, and probably going to see pretty shortly Timber be left alone and Mercy start to rotate. So once that happens, what would we like the toss to do across the map?
I want to see him go bottom. I think it's a long way to run from the bottom without being detected at all or scouted, but that's the only real avenue that they have to be able to. Us aren't going to be able to on the map. Is Mercy. Now, I feel like this is ButterflyEffect once again doing that I was talking about. Now he's got the boots of speed to be able to play around with, so even if he did make movement forward, probably could still get away to the safe.
Now they will get confirmation of Tusk's position as well, so he's going to start the maze back to top regardless, which not that he's going to have a whole lot of impact in this lane. Will be quiet. There he's going to look to park himself over the next couple of minutes, but a passive start.
Kind of to be expected. I mean, you've got a lot of very hard to kill heroes, right? More has mobility than us. Hero, Dawn, Strength Hero, DP, Survivability, Timber Saw, Survivability, Weaver, Movement, like everyone except maybe the Nature's
Dire's
Prophet.
top tower
Like,
is under
very,
attack.
very good in the laning.
Not for you.
Entire game. So just see how both teams are looking to play around that. I feel like it's going to be Outsiders playing a little bit more around the back of his ultimates. Most notably the Treant Protector and the Nature's Prophet, just for A, the lockdown, and B, the damage. That's one area that Outsiders are actually quite heavily lacking in. Playing around this overgrowth quite heavily.
Maybe that's a big reason why Ender has the Aghanim Scepter up as well, and Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I would say so. You've got to go down that route, or like a Gleep.
Cypher up a little bit. Versus going to try. Oh, they actually got him. Wasn't expecting the Celestial Hammer to do as much damage as what it just did, but nice blood, I should say, picked off the Cloud, and they didn't even have to commit the Exo for it.
No, they didn't, and it was off the back of a bait. So again, Cloud just recognizing the strength of their draft and playing to it nicely. We're already seeing a much better laning stage coming out from them.
That's the important thing, get those lanes going, get that good start for yourselves, because like the panel was mentioning, very difficult when you're going to play from behind against a team that just that little higher up on you in regards to the tiers.
I do like how XM is building for the safe lane though. He's built himself up almost a 900 gold lead against the Tempestor as this Weaver. He's getting almost entirely solo experience. And just the adaptation as well, right? You've got 4 mangoes, so he used to
Don't breathe into night.
see like a Stariff. But just that he's going to be able to spend that he's gone into the javelin as well, so a little bit of magic damage force is going to be effective.
I don't know when he's going to be vulnerable in this game. Target out the death prophet and look at come up with all of dire deep out of the T1 tower. It's a big kill for them to find. Look at the time to get it as well. Catapult wave along the tree into the tower. It's going to go down there to work with.
Yeah, Mercy was just too experienced short of being able to pick up that level 3 in order to get that kill.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Dawnbreaker previously, sorry, not Dawnbreaker, on the Primal Beast previously.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Didn't even have a save potential like they were pressed out from outsiders.
Town now to be able to open up the map. Now we the Primal Beast.
Well, no, Exo has to be used though. Look, it will push happen up top here. Can't just be standing waiting around, but no. He's done waiting.
Radiant's bottom tower
Just gives
is under
the train
attack.
protector time to rotate up to this lane and protect it.
They've got Laughter 8 now. They can pull up the Dent Prophet. We're going to see Echo's lead in Pulverize. Not enough, but in fact, he's so fast. His own damage control running. And look, he's deep into the tree line, but can't get himself out. So they're just fighting without the Aegis Prophet.
Oh, that is not ideal for sure. I don't know how much effectiveness he would have. Like, he'd use the Wrath of Nature. He's got a Blightstone and a Power Tread. It's not exactly the greatest amount of overall damage. If he wants to go into the Maelstrom, or does he would have it? I don't know.
He's back alive. She's the initial target for the moment. One more tap. We'll bring him down. Along, they'll get Mercy as well. So, I don't successfully defend the T1 tower. They get a couple of kills as well, and now they're going to park the Tree Protector here to get some solo experience.
And you just compare that to game 1, right? There's so much more emphasis on to maintain this T1 tower. It's exactly where a Prophet wants to be, sitting in the safety on your side of the map. Because even though this is being Mission 3, we can expect Ava to be playing a lot more of this greedy style of role, and we're trying to go for it. Still here with Andy.
See the forest.
So we're going to be able to find it. So first kill involvement out of Morphling, who's had another pretty good start. Last game, I should say, we did see him have 2 deaths at that 6-minute mark, but he's had a lot of network early on. It's not really deep for the Morphling. However, unable to bring him down for the moment. The Polarized combination will set up perfectly with the arrow, but they will still secure the kill. ButterflyEffect have no way to avenge the death of the task.
Obviously, it's important to just keep up your path of going this build, but I wonder if ButterflyEffect's kind of kicking itself. Not having just a singular point in the silo. Great. Polarized would be great if they...
Jay is trying to chase down the outside, but
nice
that's in the arrow on point from Xiaoma. EchozZ gives him a worthwhile tip as well. That is a huge kill to Timber.
Dyer's middle
Shot
tower
this
is
hero
under
down.
attack.
In a game like this where it looks like a pretty goddamn good Timber game, of course his weaknesses are going to be earling on before those items. So if you can stem under the farm that we can get, then it's going to be huge.
Radiant's top tower
Oh,
is
it's
under
excellent
attack.
fall to Mercy. Pretty cautious. The time lapse to work with, and nothing they can do to prevent that.
No silence. Just put the third one into the Spirit Sniper. But I really feel like after you get this initiative, starts through onto these relatively squishy heroes, you've got to make sure that you've got some sort of follow-up. And for right now, the Tusk Snowball and Punch yet. Like you've got anything to get. Might just believe that Cloud are happy enough to sit back and
Radiant are
farm. They
scanning.
Morphling had a good game and they want to put everything into these shoots. Well,
Really want to see Cloud go
Radiant's
top and play with the
courier has
Timber.
been
You've got this catapult, you need to open up the map, and Dart might continue to come to the neighborhood to protect it. But the damage from this bottom piece, the Timber is ever so vulnerable. That's where Stariff's able to commit to play an instant response with the overgrowth. Is going to hold them back for the moment. But Radiant has to fire. Shaden's ButterflyEffect isn't showed up to the party. And X isn't activated. It won't have the damage to get rid of EchozZ. Up to the left side, Xiaoma still is able to bring down the Timber Saw, so
Dyer's top
in
tower
the end, it's
is
a
under
1-for-1.
attack. Dyer's top tower has
But
fallen.
get a pretty big kill from everyone
Radiant's
else from
bottom
Dai's
tower
farm.
is under attack.
everyone else from Dire is farming. Not that big of a contribution coming through from AF there. They might be able to do what it took 4 heroes to do and an exorcism. Taking a tower
Radiant's
completely
bottom
on his own.
tower has fallen.
Still fairly satisfied if you're outsiders, but of course, one that's really suffering from all of this is that Nature's Prophet. It feels like he was directly countered with a lot of these drafts, because of course, can't believe it would have been a good Nature's Prophet game for position 1, and on this specific route on Cloud. So it makes sense that he's fallen a little bit behind. He's actually chosen to go a little bit different, build back to the Maelstrom. I'm really expecting a glitch. I'm going to go into the Aghanim set. A little bit of extra. Know how great it is. Almost every single one of these clouds to be able to provide that long.
Also, just help them kind of scale even better as well,
Yeah.
going down this route. Definitely get a lot more tea, but next into the glaive is very much going to help out with your.
Even Maelstrom tags, I would be okay with that, because the Maelstrom is like, if a team fight doesn't go perfectly for you, you can split push. If you know they've made a really obvious smoke, you can split push. Pressure on the map and maybe make a rash decision that isn't totally ideal for the actual game state. So I like this. It's never going to be falling.
What do we make of the itemization of ButterflyEffect and the Death Prophet? Of course, it's a position 2 Death Prophet. It's a little bit different than what we've seen on the position 3. That usually heavy build, but it's the played first side of here for ButterflyEffect.
Too often, huh? Maybe just expecting that he's going to be going into, I don't know, Jeepers, the Scythe of Vice, just a lot of these int items. But, I mean, for a slow, it's going to be nice against the Primal, I suppose, at least that BK.
That be damage talent as well. So. See, very, very interesting. It's good as well. See what he's going to look going to as his next item here with the Death Prophet. A very stable game at the moment. Only 1,000 net worth lead for Dire. And he's having a lot of fun with it. I think really the biggest loser for me so far is CFJ on the Timbers. I was really not expecting him to have 3 deaths at this stage in the game, but we've just seen what the Primal Beast can do. Like this hero does a ridiculous amount of damage at the early stage.
Oh, for sure. I'm a loser, but you know, you do you.
Did I say loser? What did I say?
Oh yeah, but
What did I say actually? It's just
he said the biggest loser of this early game. Yeah, you won't be that strict.
Don't say he's the biggest loser. No. What do you mean? 3 damage choose. Wait, there's a bigger loser. Hang on,
He
DSJ?
might be about to die. The loser could go down again.
Might be even more of a. I mean, the. What do you mean? I'm not like him a loser. I'm saying.
No, I know.
Alright,
I'm giving you
Alright. Shit, that's cool. You're trying to make me Plus, I try and explain my words. I'm like, nah, I feel like I shared it pretty well.
Yeah, well, they're actually committed early on this game. Emphasis of being easier to get himself the rotation through, and there's not exactly that many trees at tree and protector to be able to play around. So
Radiant's bottom tower is under
sure
attack.
to most likely go down with Mercy just acting as a little bit of the
Dire's
enforcer
middle
on the
tower
front
is
lines.
under attack. Radiant's top tower is
Important
under
thing
attack.
is,
Ramen?
yes. I mean, you see what they're getting out of the map. Ava is about to take the T1 tower top. Now got Xiaoma as well, diverting 3 heroes' attention away from the entirety of the other rest of them. So XM was still continuing to farm. They were farming their own jungle at the same time. So yes, they lose that tower, which is pretty big when you have a tree protector, being said. But you are getting stuff across the map. Like EchozZ has enough to Gibby. They are in fighting shape.
It's like the supports are distracting them away from the important things that are actually happening across the map. So in the previous series, on Meteor, you had Marblu on his Ricky putting together another fantastic performance for him. Just again, putting himself in harm's way, getting away actually most of the time, but it led to would have had people sometimes to get a lot of harm while he was just living his life. It really uses that sleep keeping blood, and this game it really doesn't feel like, for example, the Bronco with it.
Radiant
Gets activated, and if the boys protect him, maybe once the Xiaoma come into play, nobody doesn't drag him in.
Dire's top
Timber
tower
goes
is
down.
under attack.
Now that gives us some more as well. Xiaoma in combination with XM is going to go towards the backline. Versus playing with the one charge is actually not even alive. That should result in them killing off Xiaoma. So really, a 2-for-1 with Andy to also able to kill Ava.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's just
is under attack.
profitability. This is the XM, but not much that Andy can really do.
Right, to do that, it can actually use to be able to protect him. So I'm surprised the Prop put himself into such a vulnerable position. He's going down that Gleep thereabout. Running that lane push potential. To light up that easily. It feels like he was joining into the fight with no true purpose outside of maybe pushing the tower while they were going with this.
So activated out of the pit, and even it is. They've got a ward on cliff. So they're aware of this. So they're all coming.
Easy shot.
Right. Start with the silence. Is the control going to be XM? And now the Everest as well. It's Cloud, okay. I was looking a little bit dicey, but he's starting with 2 heroes just going inside the pit.
What you can say about it was a very, very quick movement. And it's not something you would expect at that stage. And it was immediately after he hit the
Radiant's top
12, I
tower
believe,
is
on
under
ButterflyEffect.
The prize is
If
mine.
they had anyone joining in, I mean, Tusk had 4 points to that, so you can very, very quickly look to take that one out. The fact that Cloud are playing on the back of this radiant advantage that they have, even though it was on vision, it's feeling like it's much easier to be able to go in and bring reinforcements to that sort of clash.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Enough how
under attack.
important it is that Radiant now has some advantage in this game. It's going to give Timber some time to get the farm, and he's got Greaves now completely coming out of the car. And the timing is just perfect because Milan is about to pick up the Spirit Vessel. If Timber didn't have a way to purge that off before this vessel, then he could have been killed multiple times in a row.
Dire's top tower is under
I feel like
attack.
he's still in a rough spot though. Like,
Easy shot.
of course, Greaves is great, right? But I feel like he's going to need to grieve technique. You're still up against a Gleipnir on the Weaver, a Prophet that's going Gleipnir, Overgrowth on the Tree and Protect with Blink Dagger, and the Vessel. So, like, you got to pick your battle, right? And I feel like BKB's
Mercy. She doesn't go for goes to the punch instead. Is still going to be enough to keep the Tusk alive, but he wants to go back to the middle and try to. But EchozZ back up already. So Cloud are in fighting shape. They're ready to rock and roll as outside. And there's going to be no escape, it looks like, from Ava. Cut down inside the tree line. A 1-for-1 in the end, but that was actually even without the green from CSG. It doesn't actually have it yet completed, so it just goes to show if they've got one person nearby and even a solid guardian, and it's not easy to kill. You have to commit everything to bring him down.
Really,
Radiant's
long
top
pick coming
tower
through from
is
the
under
Dawnbreaker,
attack.
really helping out there. Of course, the mechanism on the back of that is a bit knocked out from CSG. Forward, I wonder if they're going to have enough they can do it.
One cooldown, Met coming up shortly. Rises up to the arrow, but then Met, can he get it off? Able to, no one's TPing down. Won't even be required.
One of those games where neutral item RNG is really in handy for picking up that nether short and extra magic resistance on top of the fight.
Awesome. Best one we've ever asked for, right? For Timber level at the T2. I'm not going to go through this. Let's just say top 3.
It's damn good.
It's a damn good one. It's a damn good one for Timber. And this is
Radiant's bottom tower
honestly the
is
most
under attack.
yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
what I was going to say.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Great position here, Team Cloud. They're in
Radiant's
a
bottom
great
tower
position.
has fallen.
I mean, they're losing T2s, sure, but they're going to get one in response. And, I mean, they've already got the Roshan advantage claim themselves. They're going to be able to
Dire's
take a
top
T2
tower is under attack.
out on the back of this. Feels to me like second Roche is really all they're going to be playing around, and Andy's still continuing to get more and more of that farm. Recognizes how important it is to have 2 separate cleanses for all of these different high-value lockdown damage abilities that they've got. Again, bleeding ears are a factor, the other things are a factor, so you need man. Same sort of thing with Timbersaw. He's got the Greaves now. I'd be a little surprised if he doesn't go BKB, even though it's not exactly the most common. As well, she's going towards the Kaya Sanj. Don't hate it. I mean, again, it's just provided her a lot of value to stand in the middle of team fights, a lot more of that punishment. Force the team to essentially focus her down, because to reach that point for outsiders, that how do you kill a Morphling, a DP, and a Tempest very tanky alone? And it's just going to get harder and harder as especially Dawnbreaker gets on these levels as well. Even at level 12 on the solid.
It's interesting start as the start to up. This is, I guess, probably multiple reasons, right? You override into Arrow, and then for 8 hots into Arrow, but eventually you're going to have an item to be able to
Radiant's
kind of
middle
mitigate the
tower is
effectiveness
under
of
attack.
that level 20 talent from the
Dire's
Nature's
top
Prophet.
tower has fallen.
And it essentially forces Primal Beast. They beat every single time he wants to go to the
know how to handle
doesn't,
such
then the
power.
force stuff actually interrupts the whole as it uses it. Right?
We see with that code tapping the blink will definitely make it much easier for him to pick his target. Not always get in the middle, but it's just a question, can you pick your right target? Kind of that polarized combo. So who are they looking to target down in some of these fights? Because we haven't seen the momentum start to swing to Radiant's favor. Who would die and need to kill in this fight?
I'm just a little worried that they don't have burst damage. Like, how are they going to be able to 100 to 0 anyone? It almost feels like you need all the squishy targets just quite slightly.
This is from Xiaoma.
I mean, Dawn really should time to get up, especially healing-oriented route with the Solar Guardian. Maybe Tusk. He's been
Dire's middle
so
tower
far.
is under
So
attack.
it's survived that previous one
Dire's
of them.
structures are fortified.
And he has indeed. He's with those two always going to be able to help a little bit and very close to the blink back into the toss. So, well, yes, that is. Corp has the potential to be aggressive and defensive with that eye. He's just looking at the. That Morphling is going to start it next, so just continue to avoid the Scepter. Okay, you like the Scotty pickup one?
I mean, yeah, you're getting 2 range cords, right? And again, I talked about the benefits of having Witchblade against the the Purple Beast, just to slow him down, prevent the trap from having quite as much effectiveness. Same sort of with his right, it's kind of actually goes through that, protecting not only yourself, but the rest of you. That had to roll damage.
See, Ava, looks like they're ready to attack you. Aside from China, utilizing the Nature's Prophets global with the potential to drop a deep ward inside Radiant's triangle.
Clever.
Sending raids.
And they got them smoke.
Yeah, instant nod.
Let's go, Ava.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They utilize this now.
Back off together.
No. Scotty just completed on the weave inside this team fight. Potentially help out. Outside. An incredible ultimate growth inside the middle. It's the fall. They're going to try and put the target down CSG at the moment. It will be able to get some distance away. Further to northern side, Echoes will pour down. So a great start for the Team Cloud. And they get more out of this though. EchozZ tries to set up for the Mirana arrow, but it's not going to be on the mark in our Radiant. Well, it seems like Andy's ready to try and take through the team fight, but I'm trying to be able to cut this down to the south, and Radiant, they're happy with that. Actually, it's about to expire, so be cautious over. Not backing up the Dive's vision. Next with click from afar. Oh, just shy. XM's going to continue to go for the dive as Mercy jumps over. Trying to protect Stariff. So the goal break is going to be survivable enough. Maybe he won't be healthy enough. CSG along with Andy coming for the damage required. Blow up XM when he was playing for some little too aggressive. Xiaoma. No more leap charges for the Mirana as well. So Team Cloud going to get multiple kills inside that engagement.
Very, very surprising that they were able to get that. You know, I was just singing Ava's praises, but with almost a complete factor in that team fight. He waited the 10 seconds for the Raptor Nature to come offline, and soon led his TP forward even after the BKB was gone. He did something as simple as using the Glitch. They provided so much spacing for his team to be able to either then
like a T2 tower could go down now off the back of that one Team 5 here, Team Cloud. So
middle tower
they can T2 it up as well with the advantage in regard to the objectives. They get themselves up to that first shot, which is the all important one, and the fast rush one as well, pretty much instant.
My waters rise.
just advantage out of that. Thankfully, alright. Back up.
Protected.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like he's got Scotty yet.
The opportunity to stop it. It just it looks painful.
Approaching.
There is in the one. That was. Eat it. I mean.
Light my way.
So it had
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
Try. I think the weakness. Yep. Oh.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Use it. You're not. You have vision it so much harder. Anything else
Dire's
other than
bottom
just a
tower
single
is
pixel.
under attack.
Yeah, it does look like they've recognized kind of
Radiant's
in
top
particular
tower is
style
under attack.
of battle against outside of the vision game. He's seeing that he's kind of losing that at the moment. So it's an instant gem
structures
pick
are
up after
fortified.
he died.
Radiant's
Like you said,
top
like that,
tower is under
water
attack.
cliff by the triangle is
Dire's
4
bottom
minutes of
tower is
incredible
under attack.
information. Down by
Dire's
the bottom outpost,
tower
almost
has
one
fallen.
from a team fight as well if Radiant can fast react. So like this gem pick, if they can get full value out of it, because this is the Radiant can take
Radiant's
decent
top
control of this
tower is
cave.
under
You've got
attack.
the Skadi with this Aegis
Radiant
timing, so
structures are
if you can
fortified.
one fire, all of a sudden you could crack high ground.
Yeah, look, if he is well, there are plenty of survivability on all these heroes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Praying for a chance on
Radiant's
stuff.
top tower
Moving
is
close.
under attack.
Take this area, surround, just to clear out all of the divisions and boundaries. Back off.
Dire's bottom tower
Well,
has
maybe try and pick
fallen.
up the straggler.
He'll be able to escape the big team yard unless he can get the kill onto the
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And it doesn't look like A.K.A. has the damage to bring him down. But you know, mid-lane, the flat effect. I think forced to pop his own. He can't get it, but he's got to fast. And Brad will lock him in. He's pulling blade to get it out, but now with the way this right clicks the BKB, will completely negate it thanks to XM's physical damage.
Little mistake, right? And I mean, to be fair, Tusk
Radiant's
wasn't
middle
exactly
tower is
a
under
mistake.
attack.
Another bit of and coming from
I'm not being we get a lot of decent play to the chains, and exactly right. What are the boys starting to follow? But they're just taking way too long to protect the timber.
Well, they just didn't have the tools to do so, right? What's a Tusk like he can really accomplish? They didn't have his solid guard. Walkling had no idea. Well, stand in on the front line. What I was saying before is when they went for that jump in onto the take it out. Of course, Prophet told him onto a line breaker. So just a right call on the Tusk means he doesn't actually get the Walrus punch off of it. Heavy TP. That series of events doesn't happen if he just doesn't get that single control. Probably the only one in the game.
And now the series of events also just waste decent chunk of Aegis advantage that we're already playing with. And soon expire in the next 20 seconds. They had a 4,000 net worth lead. The highest age for Team Cloud, and now it's actually dropped into outside of Triumph's advantage.
Look at the primal stat.
Dire's courier has been
Went
killed.
into the Skadi for himself. Not in the Shivas.
Radiant's bottom tower
You know,
is
you've
under
already got
attack.
the Skadi on the Weaver, having Chiefs on that, having Spirit Vessel. It's a lot for Morphling, Tibus.
Radiant's top tower is under
Have
attack.
to deal with all that reductions. Nice sanitization coming
Dire are scanning.
in. So much to have to deal with, right? You have to choose what you expend your BKB, what you do.
It's where the very soul from CSJ out a little bit. Not only with his own survivability, but potentially allowing the death profit of the Morphling just run freely into the fights. You can have that item the other person. It's from China. I feel like they're strong enough to take a team fight. As Circuits 3 was great position help out, and Ego can instantly TP in as well. So he's on cool things.
Sure if that or the tip of that's the way that they're reacting on outside.
Today's
Quick movement coming through. That was my career dead. Long, absolutely no chance of that.
Thank you, my beauties.
This feels like another one of those games where, like, Rock Beast wants a number of
They're gonna see Ava in the tree line down
Radiant's
bottom.
top tower is under
First you
attack.
before dropping the cliffs.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
It's happened.
No,
Radiant's
we actually really well. There's nothing you can do.
Radiant's bottom
BKB,
tower
it's
is under
still
attack.
available. So you instantly see the die gonna look to try and shove in top, and then the wave in the greatest position, but see whether we can get seconds with the team cloud to work with.
What I was saying before about Primal Beast, obviously it's great that he's got the Shivas, right? They are... It depends what they feel like they're most concerned about. If you're worried about the Timber Saw, you have to imagine that Aghanim is the thing that they want, right? Just that extra break against the at the start of this.
I actually haven't checked. Is his break virtual? Because I know there are some in the game that can disable.
Too new over here.
I really like that call, the Deceptor. Gives him a lot of damage as well. A lot of damage for the Primal Beast to work with. I think maybe another item for GSG you could look towards. I think Hex could be really valuable here for the Timbersaw in a game like this. We're seeing kind of the issues with their control. That Hex for the whip could be vital. Even the Primal Beast or Nature's Prophet for the BKB that have difficulty with starting fights with that instant stun, but there's a lot of other routes you could go down. We've seen Timbersaws even going like the Scepter at the later stages if they feel like there's some damage issues. Maybe they feel like he needs a little bit more survivability. But this is nice thing, of course, with the Timbersaw. Very, very flexible.
Way up, rewarding that time where he died previous. I almost wonder if he's going to go and do the same thing that he did prior. Putting keeping up, warding up the high ground, and praying that they don't have an observer. Which they don't right now. Just figuring it out.
A couple of members, but just to sneak away at night.
Just like we're a minute away from Rich. They don't do that, but they know it's impossible. And if they don't have a ward up, are you really going to check that? Everything dictates, alright, we've been playing in this, if they haven't, they're not going to have the capabilities to support this sort of thing. You've got to go all these that in order to find the background, find the task, kill him at the start of the and then use that on.
So that's an aggressive thing. Just waiting to try and protect Mercy. Even a very shit now though. Doesn't look like they're be able to capitalize it. Refresh that ward protection as well. So it's clap off guard.
And this where I should bit away from the third spawn. Sort of similar sort of thing in catch the backlines and kind of protect that'd be benefit.
You know, this ship popped up directly on top of the lane.
Is under attack.
Not to back off, reposition themselves accordingly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We're actually going to force them all the way back. Okay. High ground. Backs up. Let's it start. It's onto the Weaver. If there's any good crossing up the front out of this, so they kind of decide for not long enough. XM would up to start the fight. He doesn't have a buyback. This could be disaster to regard to the objective damage.
Look for one right
Radiant's
click.
top tower is under attack.
There,
Dire's middle
70
tower
damage coming
has fallen.
when they're helping off that Daedalus and
Dire's middle barracks. Dire's middle barracks
So the Spirit Devil should be planned for as long as Mercy can cancel the
Dire's
TP.
top tower is under
He's
attack.
still tempting up. It's going to be silenced. Short from Butterfly
Dire's
Effect.
structure is
No, the
under
Exo
attack.
expires. It does not matter. Another kill onto a core and simultaneously the rest of Cloud are dealing with the objectives.
Dire's
been
top
playing
tower has fallen.
tier 3 top and
Dire's
Weaver had to
top
pull back by
barracks
this
is under
stage.
attack.
You don't have creeps to be able to play around with though. Even though it's not the greatest, the biggest profit ends up going down. He good job keeping the lane pushed out that one wave.
Radiant's
Keep it
courier has been killed.
Xiaoma might struggle. It'd be interesting to look at a morphing replicated. Xiaoma himself still got a couple of leaps. Ciara lost. He's making it work for it. We're gonna go back for Roche. Like, don't worry about his strong. See, after that hit from the Weaver, XM changes. Actually, I should say, I'm not sure if he had BKB already queued up. He's going BKB net after that death, so Might be a little bit too late though. Already got out of that last team fight. Very much in the advantage now, getting the third Roche of the game. And he's got the Scepter. Who needs to buy a Scepter if you can just pick it up from Roshan? Also gets the Ages and the Cheeses. You know, the CSJ.
The biggest thing for him might look like his net worth is a little bit inflated, but the way that Ags is still 10,000 and just gives it the benefit it's actually 7.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Take it out with just goes have a double team now. It's a lot of damage inside the team fight. We're seeing that be the case at the arrow. The next one on the side, ready from Xiaoma's position. Taking care of instantly. Can we get that off the outside? The ultimate instantly mitigate thanks to Star and Solar Guardian. Big push the bottom. Go around from Dire, but it may not be enough. It's Rain firmly inside the base, swarming down the members of Outsiders. And then reset looks like the Timber Saw will be fed to the walls. There's no escape from CSJ.
Well, I was wondering if Morphling might slow down, and that's the reason behind this push forward. He has the Sprout available on Nature's Prophet, and a part of Morphling's
Radiant's bottom tower
ineffectiveness
is under attack.
in that team fight was that he kept walking back into the area around the Sprout, even though the Sprout had already been used, or the Nature's Call had been used, so it was actually rooted, not able to wait for him forward. 5 though. On the way for 7.2 seconds.
Take a look back at team fight back. The perfect way for Dire to be able to start the team fight. We do see the issues though. It feels like every fight when they can get a good Solar Guardian usage, it's really disrupt the team fight for about 5 seconds where Cloud had control, but after that Dire, they were able to reset thanks to some of the buybacks. Of course, it cost them 2 out of the Primal Beast and the Train Protector, but those buybacks were right before that defense.
I mean, I love how much emphasis is taking out. It just provides so much light. Just BKB piercing tables, because right now outside of him, they've got nothing. That is a weave. Stand there and right click down.
Another goal. It didn't drop too much from that fight. The main thing is the experience that Dire were able to find. The Morphling fire Dire, they're getting pretty close to their talents. Weebob pretty close to his 25 in fact. And the Primal Beast hit 20, so he's got that trample attack multiplier. And if you just saw another item, Ava has a Hex on the Nature's Prophet. This could catch him off guard here. The Hex potential onto the Morphling, of course, you cannot play around with your attribute shift with the Shard.
Yeah, I'm just as well with the Atmos Scepter on the Morphling, like what avenue is actually going to what out? Buyback for 2,000 gold, no Ages to be able to play around with. Somehow they're able to find that pick off with that side of ice and almost fighters to be able to back into this.
If they can find it, but it's going to be Radiant. On to the front foot first. Waves aren't in the greatest position for them to actually make a play. Doesn't look with the positioning for Dire that they will be caught off guard.
Mid lane's always going to push in, right? You've got the super. They feel like someone's going to come and try and address this, someone's going to get a pick.
No, you can do it. You really get to make this happen under the tick for power. The fight counter initiate now. The Morphling is up. Next up, he's got to survive the bump for the force, but can he get out afterwards? The Overgrowth perched off for the moment. It's all to play the reform, but it's full retreat out of Team Cloud. You've got to call it quits. The Dire will catch up. Exit was on the charge. Close the distance. Considering that actually double backing the X's and then just the control to want the Weaver in place, but it doesn't look like they have enough. X says A.K.A, and he's actually going to turn on the right clicks is out raining. They're in shambles. They need to cut their losses, but it's the cores that are going down instead of the supports. Whereas outside is China. Or they lose from Xiaoma, a buyback out of Murata. This is a big opportunity for them to look to get some objectives.
Radiant's top
So
tower
worth
is
it.
under
You can
attack.
see he's already right up there at the tier 3
Radiant
house.
structures are
Get the rat
fortified.
over happening. And it was ballsy play. I appreciate the
Radiant's
fact that they
middle
went for
tower
it, but
is
just
under
little
attack.
things like using the rapid
Radiant's
nature,
top
not the
tower
team
has
fight,
fallen.
but to stand around
Radiant's
those tier
middle
4
tower
towers
has
instead.
fallen.
That's clear up the super.
Radiant's top
Little
barracks
things
are
like
under
that
attack.
set outside of the market.
Radiant's top
No, man,
barracks
this might
has
be
fallen.
full set.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Actually,
attack. Radiant's top barracks.
say
Radiant's
they're
middle tower
fast.
has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
It's not going to force any creeps out of base either.
These
Radiant's
are
middle
before the last
has fallen.
barracks down bottom though, so I don't
Radiant's
think
bottom
it's going to
tower
stop them. You're going to have to try and use some spells to keep these barracks alive. Mercy comes in. He's going to try and fall. He's over there. It's too much of a move for the open up just blinds. Avon takes some valuable seconds to reposition out to the northern side. Avon's okay. And they're just buying time. Look at that. The buildings are falling. Range barracks, one more right click. Neely's going to drop as well. And all of a sudden, Cloud have to go up against Mega Creeps. You need to get them killed, but you need the bottle. But all they get is the Miranda. That's not enough.
Not enough. You have to imagine, I'm pretty sure these last two, I haven't seen Andy actually use that ultimate before tagging himself the buff onto anyone. He doesn't end up using any of the spells, right? So important to reduce the amount of damage that the Weaver is able to output. Nothing like that on him at the moment. Even if he went into the primal, gives him a little bit of confidence to stand in the middle of these team fights. It feels like that, doesn't it? Territory. Operation.
I got glitter.
I give back.
Fine, you're on 6. I don't blame him. Mojo pumping through the veins on Andy. That's enough to be able to close game 2 out. It would be a crazy way to game 3. Isn't enough to keep him alive. Andy's falling lower. The other reset, the important thing, the rest of the Cloud, they're stuck inside the base. See, Shay's gonna go down. They lost Husk as well, and what's the call now? There's no
Right now. Maybe he used it and then waved off away, so that damage that you do means a simple run, but it does do basically the same effect as that he's also got Lapis off to be able to play around with. I don't think it's Husk can defend.
I don't know.
He's on it, no?
Radiant
No one's showing base as well. They've got multiple wards inside there, so they might be a little bit cautious.
Poor Task playing base defense right now.
X's going to see them. Hex almost ending. He brings away the exact same time.
middle tower is
Wasn't
under
enough to
attack.
catch up to ButterflyEffect, but they will catch up to the Dawnbreak. Let's get in the buyback as well. They're going to have to do this 3v5. The high deep against the Wiggins. Fair enough, Memphis. Gonna have to make the jump straight on top of the Nature's Prophet. Once again, they're able to secure the kill. It's got a back able to rejoin. Gotta be conscious of how this fight goes on now. You're gonna be conscious of the Morphling as well. Die up straight on top of them. No hesitation. We're taking Andy and the Ranger out of the equation. Him going down. The game will be out of their class for that. The boys from Outsiders from China will be able to take this series victory 2-1.